Okay. Let me see here. Clean that off. Do this. We are on a roll. Roll this window up. Put a little AC on. Get ready to communicate. So, we're going to talk about breaking a fast and what you would use to break a fast. I broke my fast. I was supposed to make 120 hours before I broke my fast. I made 113 and a half. So about 113 and a half hours is what I made. What you would do to break a fast is you have to pick foods that are kind of easily digestible. You have to add some of that bacteria matter, the mucin wall and stuff that's in your digestive tract, things like that, back in there. And the problem is people refeed too fast, or they don't consume electrolytes while they're fasting, and then when they do refeed, they get this surge of minerals and vitamins, and it's just a displacement to the plasma and your electrolyte balance and stuff overall. And when you don't consume electrolytes when you fast, and then you turn around and refeed, the longer fast, it's more critical because the refeeding syndrome can be greater because you've lost so many minerals and stuff during the process. And then you get this wonky feeling, this insulin surge that's trying to cram nutrients in your body as much as possible. So the key is to really consume the lowest glycemic food that you can possibly consume. The lower the glycemic index, the less insulin spike you're going to have, the easier it is to refeed. And then you would look at the other part of it. How easily digestible is this? Eggs is very digestible. Cheese can be very digestible to some people. Vegetables, it's a slong process, eh? It's a long process, and the fibrous material takes a little bit longer to break down, so it is actually easier in the long run if you can handle it. So if you're carnivore, what kind of foods would you want to eat? You would want to eat things that are easy to break down. Eggs, chicken, maybe a little bit of cheese in there, especially bone broth. Bone broth with a little bit of cinnamon in it. People are like, it just tastes amazing. It's just kind of whatever you think, whatever your diet plan is what you'll follow, but you'll pick the easiest version of that. So if you're keto and you do consume vegetables and stuff, just a very small salad with some eggs in it, maybe a little bit of chicken in it, maybe a light sprinkling of some shredded cheese, and just let it digest. Maybe a couple hours later, do something small again. Now start to make it more of a regular meal. Have like maybe a 4-ounce piece of steak, some more bone broth, maybe a little bit more egg or something like that, and you slowly build that up. You want that mucin wall to rebuild. You want your body to not get fed so much nutrient density at one time, and then insulin just starts shoving nutrients into the cells, and then when that happens, you end up actually getting this crash-like effect. You almost feel sleepy. Some people pass out. There are people that aren't very in tune with their body in general. So what I would say is just be very conscious of what you're doing. Keep it as low glycemic as possible and find that most easily digestible food. If you're keto, you definitely want to add fiber back in there as soon as you start refeeding, because it kind of elongates the process of refeeding. If you're somebody that goes to the gym a lot and you're keto, you may want to actually introduce a little bit of berries in the beginning, because when your liver's full through its normal eating cycle, it doesn't really want to do anything with fructose anyway, because it already has enough nutrient built up to where it can shuttle things in different places. With that being said, you're on a fast. If you're working out at all and you come back from the gym, something like, half a cup of berries or something that is fibrous, it does have some natural fructose to it, can actually help get some of those stores of energy back up and refeed some of the process of your body using different things to create different chemicals, energy, and stuff in itself. So it just all depends on what you actually want to do. You remember, everything's emptied out. The blood sugar, your muscle glycogen, your pancreas isn't producing glucagon and stuff at the point, or maybe it is just very small amounts. All that stuff has to change. So I broke my fast early. The reason I broke my fast early is because from about 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, after I got off work, I got home, I got settled, I fed the dog, I took a shower and stuff. I was I was on the toilet nonstop, probably a dozen times. I couldn't stop with the diarrhea. It was out of control. I was flushing so much fluid, I couldn't keep enough fluid in me. When I would finish and go lay down, I was having to get right back up and go back again. It's one of those situations where, just like Freddie said, you can't even trust a fart. It's almost like you're going to crap on yourself. Like, literally, you lay down and you're laying there again and you're like, oh, is that a fart, or am I going to actually go? And you're worried because you think you're going to actually go to the bathroom on yourself. Then you get up, you go back to the bathroom, and it's like a fountain all over again. And it was uncontrollable. I mean, it was uncontrollable. I just I couldn't go any longer than what I did. I pushed it to 113 hours or whatever today. I didn't get very much sleep last night, and I refed with some egg, a little bit of cheese. I went and got a carton of bone broth. I've got 2 more cartons in the trunk so I can sip on it for the rest of the day and kind of rebuild that digestive tract slowly with that good quality bone broth. So I came out of it. It was just something that I wasn't comfortable with. I wanted the diarrhea to stop, so I refed slowly. And remember, as soon as you refeed, you're probably going to push a lot of liquid and stuff out as well. So it can be a very tedious time, and you may need to be close to a toilet. Yeah, never trust the fasting fart. Oh God, this is so wrong, some of the stuff we talk about. But I felt like it was time to come off of it. I want to have some good quality food this weekend, and then Monday I'm going to go right back into another probably 4 or 5 day fast. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to go right back into it and just roll with it. I think what I'm going to start doing is actually starting to try to fast at least Monday through Wednesday every week, almost like a 3-day fast every single week, at least. It's easy enough for me now to where I don't have to worry about, crashing or anything like that. The key to any of this is when you refeed, it needs to be low glycemic. If you're keto, add some fiber in right away, a small salad. If you go across the board and you look at all the people that recommend this stuff, Dr. Berg, Dr. Zawalski, Slimland, any of them always recommend like a small fibrous salad when you break your fast. Megan Ramos, same thing, a small fibrous salad when you break your fast to kind of get some of that bacteria matter and stuff built back up. If you're carnivore, you're going to want to pick something very soft, very digestible, high in nutrients. Egg has a lot of leucine, and it may be actually, just like Slim says, and maybe one of the main products to actually building muscle and stuff like that. So especially if you just came off of a workout and you're breaking a fast, something like adding egg into your diet would be critical for muscle building. And with you being so vulnerable at that time and your body acting like a sponge, it would be super important for you to actually add egg in, especially after a workout, because it's got so much leucine in it. It's one of the natural precursors to actually building muscle. So thinking about breaking a fast, why you would break a fast, what you would use to break a fast, and how long you want to go, depending on what's going on in your life at the time. If I'm going through some stressful times, some really, really stressful situations, most of the time I will not eat. I'll fast through that because I know so MRE crackers won't work. No, MRE crackers won't work because that gets that shuttling of insulin effect where carbs, sugar is just getting pounded right into the cell, and that's that refeeding syndrome that I talk about, where you can actually make yourself pass out. I mean, you could, in some cases, they say you can actually die from it. So what I did was I used a little bit of egg. I cooked 2 eggs. I did like 1 ounce of cheese, and I had some bone broth, and that was how I broke my fast. Very light, very easy, very controlled, and I walked away from it. So now tonight when I get home for my second meal, I'll have like maybe just a small 5-ounce burger patty with just a little bit of cheddar cheese or something like that, and that's it. I don't want red meat to be my very first meal because red meat is very, it's hard to digest compared to the other meats, but it's good for you. It's a meat that I don't want in my digestive tract right away. I want something that's going to be easily digestible, that can kind of get in there and start digesting and breaking it down, so I can build some of that bacteria matter and stuff back up. I can get some of them good quality amino acids very quickly back into my body, but in a slow, controlled manner. Because meat in general breaks down slower than everything else. But, well, depending on the meat. Chicken doesn't and fish doesn't. They're very absorbable very fast. Slimland also recommends saving, the heads and the other parts of the fish so you can make a soup out of it because it's higher in omega-3s. You could actually use part of that as you're refeeding as well if you're carnivore. So in any diet, no matter what it is, it's a general consensus across the board with Berg and Barry and Slim and everybody else and Lemansky that you use, yes, sardines are phenomenal for breaking a fast. They're absolutely phenomenal. It's not too much at one time. They got great omegas and stuff. Just make sure whenever I get sardines, I make sure I get the ones that are not in oil, because if you get the ones that are in oil, you're adding the oils, omega-3s, and really high omega-6 to the quality of what that sardine is, and the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is off at that point. You're just basically taking something that's really good in omega-3s, Slim, Sim, whatever it is. I'm sorry. I like water sardines. I didn't mean to offend you by calling him Slim. If it did, I apologize. I think that's funny. I think it's funny that somebody actually never been corrected about that. So I pick water sardines, no oil in my sardines if I refeed with them or if I even eat them at all. I don't want the omega ratios to be broken down from what's already in the fish. I've been calling him Slim this whole time. I think I'll keep calling him Slim, actually. I like it better. I think Slim is better than Sim. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll just call him Slim. We'll just call him. Sorry if that upsets you. I think it's funny. He is pretty slim. He's a very smart guy too, though. What makes him so much better than everybody else, though, is not necessarily the information that he puts out, is he does a ton of research. The guy does a ton of research. He puts out phenomenal videos. His editing skills are on point. He just makes better quality videos than pretty much anybody I've seen when it comes to this stuff. And he gets right through it. He can take like a 10, 12-minute video and he's done in 6 minutes. He talks very fast. He gets to the point, and he's off this. I like watching his stuff. He's a smart dude. Anyway, refeed. That's how you refeed. That's why I broke the fast early. And it's going to be a new fasting program. I'm just going to start most of what I do. Most of what I do is going to be completely based off of fasting. And I'm not going to reference the fact that, I'm as successful as I am, in the grand scheme of things, based on, I know I didn't offend you, I'm just picking at you. You've been following me for too long for me to not know that I didn't offend you. I think I just like Slim better. I just like Slim. I think I'm going to ask him to change his name to Slim, so whenever I say it, it's correct. So there's the refeed info. That's how I do it. That's what I get out of it. It's just low glycemic. If you're keto, add some fiber in right away, kind of slowly, easy digesting stuff. If you are carnivore, light, easily digestible stuff, maybe a little bit of chicken, some egg, a little bit of cheese, just a little bit, not a lot, and you just kind of ease into it. You just do little small meals, little as you go. You don't have to refeed like some of these people do with a big giant 16-ounce steak or something like that. They think that that's actually the right way to do it. What? It's subjective. It's kind of not. But there are people who do things their own way, and they're completely fine. So that's why I always reference subjective. That's subject to that person. If it makes them feel good and they can do it, then you go ahead and do what you got to do. By all means, eat that steak, baby. Eat that sentient steak. That's it, guys. That's it for the refeed video. Made it, I don't know, 113 and a half hours or something, and that was it. That's the gist of it. So I hope this helps somebody. If you think some of this information could be helpful to somebody, share the video. If not, great. Thanks anyway. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you as always. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and drive in this crazy traffic. And I will see you guys later. Remember, this is your journey. Nobody else has to live it but you. Keto on, carnivore on. Do you.